Okay, it is time to meet this week's guest veterinarian in a segment we call Dr. Dog Mom. Dr. Beth Turner is a former veterinarian, former practicing veterinarian, and she is a key contributor to Preventive Vet. It's an online platform that's dedicated to educating pet owners on how to deal with and possibly avoid any health issues with their animal. Dr. Beth, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Beth. So I'd love to start from the beginning. Did your love for animals start at an early age?
Yeah, probably since I was an infant.
Oh, wow, yes.
I love to tell those embarrassing stories when you're in company. My mom's favorite story to tell was when I was an infant and she was holding me in her lap and we were at a horse show. And every time the horses and I kept leaping, she could barely hold on to me, double-handed. She finally handed me off to my dad because she just couldn't handle me anymore. And it drew more attention than the horses did. So fortunately, at one point, the rider did come up and with his horse to the edge of the arena. But I grew up with horses and cats and dogs, so I have always loved animals.
Oh, that is incredible. So it probably wasn't maybe a hard decision for you when you were thinking, what should I do with my life? It seems like an easy career choice. And what was it like for you maybe going from, being in school to actually starting a practice?
So going from school, when you're in school, you think you've learned everything, but the moment you go out, you realize you know nothing.
Right.
It was kind of significant learning curve of these different things. And I remember one time when I had taken my dog to the vet, the vet said to me, he goes, "You won't hear much about anal glands in school, but you will deal with it every day." And I'm like, okay. And he was exactly correct. Dealt with it every day. And they became almost like literally a pain in the butt because you had to deal with them every day and different aspects of them.
Right. But my dog is scooting. Dr. Beth, please help me.
Yeah, but you don't realize all the other problems they cause. And then the worst part is if, during the day, especially in the morning, if you end up expressing them and it gets on your clothes, you smell the rest of the day. You can't cover it up. You can't do anything. So you hope for a change in clothes when you do those things. But I was very blessed when I first started practicing. I asked my boss, I was like, I want a mentor. I want someone who's going to show me and do things. And his answer was, I will give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Oh my.
And I'm like,
that's a school of hard knocks.
Yeah, honestly, it was great. I got to learn so many things that I probably would have hesitated to do if I didn't get pushed into, you don't have an option right now. And it also taught me a lot because there was a lot of things he wasn't doing that I realized was causing animals to suffer with things that they didn't necessarily need to because it was preventable. And so it really made me understand the importance of educating my pet owners, teaching them what to do so they could avoid or lessen some negative effects later on.
And that is so important. If we can do something now to avoid something later, why not? And what a gift to have someone like you, Dr. Beth, walking us through some of those preventative measures now. Through that experience, through starting your own practice, what became maybe the most important aspect to you of being a vet? Is it education, or what are you most passionate about?
To me, it was a great opportunity as a veterinarian. You can help people and you can help animals. And it's a double benefit. And then you get to have all these pets that aren't your pets that somebody else can take care of too. And the satisfaction, the fulfillment that you could get by making a difference in someone's life and taking care of their family member is it's a very fulfilling thing, and it's very challenging. And the nice thing about veterinary medicine is no day is the same. You can wake up, you have this schedule, you think this is what's going to happen, and that's not what the day does at all.
Yes.
To say, oh, it's going to be a boring day. No, you never could say that. So there's always something different. It's always challenging. And being able to make that difference in someone's life and have an impact in your community is a wonderful feeling. It's hard to describe. And, and it's not even just that. Being a vet also allowed me to also help animals that didn't have anybody to care for them or speak for them,
Right.
because I worked with shelters and rescues. So the opportunities that we have are so vast. It's just the thing.
You literally see both owners and dogs at their highest and lowest moment.
Oh,
You carry that burden. I mean, as a vet, I imagine that's challenging.
it's the hard part is, especially when you start taking care of some of them, from the time they're puppies, and they're going through all this thing, and then when the time comes where they need to cross the rainbow bridge and you're the one that has to do it, and you've bonded with them and it's a very difficult thing. And there were some that I had become very, very close with, and so at that time I'm like, just I'm gonna cry. I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna cry. I love you both. And so it became those difficult things. But the other way we'd often view it was, or I view it as, is a gift. Nobody likes to watch suffering or pain or anything. So you could take that away. You could, for both of them, not just the animal, but you also, because it's really hard on pet owners to make those decisions, go down that path. And so a lot of times it's a very bonding thing. And, they'd always like, I don't know when, I don't know how. And it's always been my belief, especially the ones I knew who were so bonded, is that their pet would tell them. And I told one of my clients that, because he's like, I don't know what to do. I said, she'll tell you. And all of a sudden he was on my schedule for, unfortunately, to have to do it. And he said, you were right. She told me. He goes, it was a brief second. He said, but I felt it and I knew it and I know she's okay. So I'm okay about it, as he could be.
That's so
and
beautiful.
So it's a wonderful thing to say, being there with them and to experience that closeness in that moment with them, and to know that it's done as peaceful and calm for everyone as it can be.
It means the world, that kind of compassion and that level of support when you're saying goodbye to this animal that has captured your heart. So that says so much about you, Dr. Turner, that you're not just focused on moving to the next thing or getting through to the next thing, that you're fully present and that you were able to love and support so many of your patients and the dogs so well. So that's amazing. And it means the world. And now you're affecting lives and impacting lives in a positive way through Preventive Vet. Tell us more about Preventive Vet.
So, after I sold my practice, I felt kind of, you could say, lost.
Sure. That's fair.
I missed that connection with my clients. I missed the connection of helping animals and stuff. And one of the most important ways I always felt to help was through education. That was a big thing. And I always believed, especially starting with a solid foundation with puppies, so my puppy visits, when I started my practice, they were scheduled for an hour because I could talk for the full hour and then some.
Yes.
And because to me, it was my responsibility to help them prevent things. There's nothing worse than having somebody come in to spend money on something that didn't have to, or the animal to suffer for something that could have been prevented. And if we can even add a year of their life by doing certain preventative things, that was always what was important to me. So I forget which job site I was on, and Preventive Vet had popped up a thing, and I'm like, writing. I'm like, God, I hated writing. It was like one of those things. But I'm like, oh. And then after I read their mission, I'm like, this sounds so wonderful. Aww. And I was so blessed to have Anne take a chance and hire me. And it has been the best experience of my life. I feel like the scope of people I can help is broader, because, you can go to a site and read about things that, matter, and that you can educate them and teach them how to prevent, or educate them and help them to understand what's happening, because vets don't have a lot of time in the exam room. And honestly, once you hear certain things, your brain shuts down.
Sure.
You get a bad diagnosis, or even in a puppy visit where everything's great, they're so overwhelmed. It's like, I can't hear anymore, So Preventive Vet allows me to do those things. And then we allow, or we have a thing where people can leave comments. So if either myself, another one of our medical professionals, or one of our trainers responds back, so we try to help as best we can in another avenue as well, besides presenting the articles, resources, and other aspects.
It's fantastic. And you cover such a wide variety of topics on your site.
we cover, obviously medical things. We try to, in our medical things, they're all looked at also by our behaviorists. We have training articles, behavior articles, safety articles. We provide a bunch of resources. We have videos. We have every different way that you can imagine something. And the other thing that I love is that when you're upset or stressed, the last thing you want to do is try to find something. And a vet in a hurry, even the same thing. They're like, well, what do I use? What do I get? We try to link to the things that we know are safe, that we've used, that we've had experience with, so that all an owner has to do is, boop, I'm done. I know this is okay, and it saves time and stuff. And the other aspect that's really wonderful to me, besides, our articles, we have tools, we have calculators, and we have a wonderful bunch of training and behavior articles, which you don't realize how of an impact training and behavior is from beginning to end, and how it can make such a difference and improve the quality of life, not only for pets, but pet owners. So like we have our Pup Standing Academy, which people can do these self-paced workshops, or they can sign up with Kathy, who's an amazing trainer, amazing person, to do one-on-one or virtual training sessions with her. We have, and almost everything is free. We even have this amazing free Pup Academy app, where people can learn about different ways to social or teach their dog sounds, sensitization, just like Kira was talking about. And if you start young, these sounds are not scary, they're not bad, and in reality, it makes everybody's life easier later on.
Does. Otherwise, it's the undoing of the bad habits, which can lead to so many more challenges and make it so much more difficult. You're right. So I just love how practical your site is. And then I love, in addition, that support component that you were talking about. It's fantastic. What else do you think is important for us to know about your site?
So besides, like I said, we have the articles that explain as in depth and what people really know in an understandable manner. And like I said, we have the resources. We do a lot of prevention. I'm big about preventative care, and we go over that. We explain practical ways of doing those things. Everything is very practical. The other thing that we have is, besides the Pup Standing Academy, we have books. It's we actually have 2 books. Well, these 2 books for dogs is 101 essential tips for dog behavior and training, and we also have health and safety. This year, we'll be coming out with our senior dog book. We have cat companion books to these as well.
Great.
Another thing, like a big article that we have that comes across is like the different chews, or
yes.
They're actually fetch sticks, but they're soft, they're non-toxic, they're special need. My dog is not a big fan of treats, toys like that anyway, and he loves these.
Oh, good.
So it's out really great. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So that's a really nice option that we have. And it's just so many different avenues and tools and calculators. We have Benadryl is a very popular thing that people end up giving for this, that, and we have a calculator that makes it simple, so people don't have to question if they're giving the right amount, if they're not doing the right amount. And we really try to walk people through. A popular article is our diarrhea article. And
oh, yes, because when that happens, it can't stop soon enough. Will somebody please help us? Dr. Beth.
It's after the vet closes, or on Friday night, or on the weekend. So the goal with a lot of stuff is to try to teach owners how they might be able to manage something for maybe 24 hours. But we're also really teaching this is when you need to go to the vet. You can't do this at home anymore. We feel it's really, really critical for pet owners and their vets to have very good relationships. But it's also good for people to be a little self-sufficient and say, oh my gosh, can I make it through to the morning so I'm not going to the emergency clinic for this? So we really try to help people walk through that and get to that. We also, we know that there's safety issues. So we really try to address different safety things and bring that to people's attention. We have a huge resource. As you know, xylitol for dogs is a significant toxicity. We have a huge list of all different products, and we update it routinely of any products we find out that have xylitol in them. And so it's a really great, like I said, we have so many different resources. Same thing is, okay, you go to a pup class or when they're like, okay, get yourself a harness. I don't know about you, 90% of the time, if you ask your vet, they're not going to know what kind of harness to tell you to get in most cases. And if you search, it's overwhelming. So
Yes.
you have those different things that Kathy knows from personal experience. She'll tell you, I like this because of this or that because of that. So those things all make such a big difference. And when you combine preventative medicine with training and behavior aspects, it gives you and your dog this wonderful life with less stress, and a lot of this really prolongs their life. It's a wonderful combination of things.
It's so wonderful. And I mean, it just makes your heart sing. You know, I mean, it's just so nice to be able to have that quality time with your dog, strengthen your bond with them, and know that you're giving them the best life possible. So for folks watching right now, we want to get their attention. If your eyes aren't glued to the screen now, folks, we need you to really tune in, because this is so exciting, Dr. Beth. You have a special giveaway that you want to tell us about today.
Yes, so we have a newsletter that goes out about every 2 weeks. It's full of tons of great information because Mia, the person who does it, is amazing. It's got tips, it's got alerts and specials, all these kind of resources. So those who sign up for our newsletter, they'll be entered into a chance to win one of 5 little veggies that we told you about.
Yes.
And then the first 10 people who sign up with the dog mom as the code, or dog moms as the code, will get a free copy of our digital dog health and safety book. Which the other thing that's amazing about the digital aspect of this book is, say your topic is diarrhea. Again, that's the popular. It links to several of our other articles relating to that. So you're like, well, that doesn't match it. Oh, but wait, this matches it. So it allows for that combination of saying, oh, and then it allows people to realize how interrelated different things are, so they can search through different articles to figure out exactly what's maybe going on. And then that way, by knowing before you get to the vet, you know better what to ask and what to do.
That is so awesome. And it might be a little hard to see it on the screen. So we want to make sure everybody knows that you can go to www.preventivevet.com/dogmoms. So get in there, scan that QR code and get involved, because this is an excellent giveaway. And we're just so excited about what you have going on with Preventive Vet, Dr. Beth.
Thank you. It's a wonderful thing. And if you go to like our main homepage, you can really see all the different aspects between our articles, our free app. Like I said, all those resources are free. The other thing that we even have is on a lot of our articles that we have is you can, pay attention to other people's comments to learn more things. And we ask people for responses. We do surveys because we're really trying to find the best way to connect, the best way that we can help our pet owners with their dogs.
And it sounds like you're building a beautiful community there and so much positive momentum. So Dr. Beth Turner with Preventive Vet, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Take care. Thanks so much for watching this Dog Mom News clip. Do us a favor, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative and awesome Dog Mom News content. And be sure to click that notification bell too to stay up to date with all our new content in real time. You'll also want to be sure to join us for our live stream each Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.